Okay, all right, so this will be number 4 on the classwork, effects of TV advertising, and this is version A. So it says, what are the effects of repeated exposure to an advertising message? The answer may depend on the length of an ad. An experiment investigated this question using 120 undergraduate students as subjects. All subjects watched the same 40-minute TV program that included ads for a digital camera. Subjects were randomly assigned to see either a 30-second commercial or a 90-second version. And then we're going to identify the following. So the first thing is, who are the subjects here? So our subjects are going to be the 120 undergrad students. Okay, and then what did we do to them? And so the answer to that is we had them watch these commercials, right? So we had either a 30-second commercial or a 90-second commercial. So it's usually pretty easy to identify the levels. The factors sometimes can be a little trickier, so I often list my levels first and then come back to figure out the factors. So this would be the commercial, the thing we're manipulating, and then our response variable. Okay, so I think that would be something like interest in the camera, or people that looked up the camera online, maybe. Okay, so now we're going to diagram this experiment. We have this information down, and I want to give you kind of a generic form for doing, we're going to look at several different types of experiments, and I want to give you a form that's going to work for all of them, or at least the categories that will work for all of them. So we start out with our subjects. So I'm going to put down our 120 undergrad students. And then there's no organizational component to this one. So this one we're just randomly assigning them into treatment groups. So we can kind of skip this organized part. Okay, and we have 2 levels here. So that's how many treatments we're going to need and how many groups we're going to need. So we're going to split these guys up evenly into 2 groups of 60. It's usually fair to assume that these are even groups unless it's otherwise stated in the problem. Okay, so it does say that subjects were randomly assigned. So I usually stick my randomly assigned right here in between where I split them into groups. Okay, so we have random assignment, which is a good thing. That's going to allow us to get cause and effect. And then one group got the 30-second commercial, and the other group got the 90-second commercial. And then our response variable is going to be interest in this camera. Okay, it's not really spelled out in the question whether this is a survey or some other measurement, but the advertisement is for camera, so we're measuring some sort of interest in this camera. So this would be our diagram. Our diagram always starts with our subjects. It's going to split them out into groups, apply the treatments, and then it's going to come back together in our response variable.